Hasan, you're doing 2009 style angry video game content right now. I don't care. It's correct. It's correct. We don't need more. We don't need more fucking dumbass layouts, man. We don't need more layouts.
If that's true, then that's just $70 higher than the same storage size Steam Deck.
That's so aggressive.
For how much more performance you're getting, and more importantly, for how quiet it is, that is awesome. Like, awesome.
Wait, how much more performance are you getting?
A perfect experience, to be very, very, very clear here.
What do you say the Steam Deck is, though?
No, well, no, but I'm talking about the Ally in a different way.
I'm just clarifying for people.
Sure, game compatibility is much better, but the experience of playing those compatible games, well, there's some hurdles to overcome still. Asus has a lot of work to do on the software.
Interesting.
And so does Microsoft. Windows...
Is that how you say Asus? Asus? What the fuck?
...is not optimized for these handheld consoles. And like, I have this... Okay, here, actually, I recorded this video on my phone, conveniently. I was trying to do something basic. What the heck was I trying to do? I'm honestly having a hard time remembering. But I was... Oh, yeah, right, I remember. I was trying to go into the stupid AMD control panel, and I was trying to alter a setting for the GPU driver. And I had a game running. I was playing Stray. I finally played Stray. I had a game running, and I couldn't get it open. It just kept being Windows about it. And yeah, I can't find it right now. But I kept swiping up, and then that brings up the little bar, and then I'd swipe up again, and then I would click the Windows icon, and then it would go away, and I'd be okay. So I'd swipe up twice again, and then I'd go into the system tray, and then I'd click the AMD control panel, and then the stupid thing would go away. And I'm like, the prototype inside. I'm not even in exclusive full screen mode right now. Like, the Steam Deck is a console, and that's its strength.
Yes.
Right now, the Ally is a computer with a controller.
Yes, yes. And a computer with a controller is not... Dude, look, I love my PC. I was a PC boy originally, and then I switched over to like an iPhone and Mac products, and I was a console gamer for a very long time. And and one of the things that was very frustrating is, like, you can't really do anything on a Mac. You can do everything on a PC. Mac, on the other hand, the operating system is like, the software is locking you. It's user intuitive, but it fucking locks you into this weird, like, situation where you just can't do anything. It's like we're sending FBI agents to your house because you tried to fucking break it. It's a walled garden, right? And it's very frustrating. So I understand why you would want that level of freedom. But when it comes down to it, for a handheld console, I don't want that level of freedom. I want a fucking handheld console. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I like the like handheld PC concept as much as I like the Steam Deck that is a console, and it feels like a console. There's actually a PC part of it. You can literally go into the operating software if you want. You can, like, leave the Steam area and, like, travel and use it like a real computer. But, and I mean, you can use it for emulators and stuff like that, and that's great, right? But the reality is, I don't want to do any of that. I want it to be a console. I want it to have, I want it to be a bit of a walled garden. Like, there's never been a point in time when I looked at my PlayStation 5 and said, well, that's a behemoth. I want to make sure that fucking thing, which is currently a very expensive paperweight, I want that to be a computer. Like, I find that to be strange. It's a strange interest to have. Because you don't game, I am willing to bet that I game more than you, as a matter of fact. I'm back on Final Fantasy VII Remaster. I also downloaded all the other Yakuza games as well. I mean, in the past week, I played... In the past 2 weeks, I played more than 38 hours, more than 40 hours of Yakuza. And that's on top of like the proof. I mean, I showed it to you already. I just don't game on stream. It's also nice to be able to boot up a game and have the settings already tailored to the Steam Deck. Yes. Yes. That part is incredible. It's also fast. I mean, obviously, the Steam Deck has a lot still. The Steam Deck has a lot of issues still. Sorry, I had to text March. The Steam Deck has a lot of issues. What do I mean by that? Okay? It's heavy. It's bulky. It's big. It's good for my hands, but I assume it's not good for the average user. I actually love how big it is. It's like one of the few times where I have held a handheld and thought, my hands don't hurt at all. Definitely not for the average user, though, considering that my hands are almost as big as a fucking keyboard. You know what I mean? Like, they're as big as basically, I mean, look, my hands are as big as, like, literally a smaller keyboard, not the... Oops, plugged it out. You know what? Why don't I just plug it out and show you? Look at this. So the Steam Deck is awesome. But it's probably not good for the average person with their average grippers. What's happening? I'm not stalling. I'm going to finish this video.
Bolted to it. And that comes with problems. And there's some things that Asus is doing where that they're trying to...
It's so funny because there's such a wide contingency, like a loud contingency of chatters that are like, dude, why are you stalling gaming? Why are you stalling gaming? And then the moment that I fucking hit gaming, like literally 10K people leave. Okay, just calm down. I want to make my own content. Can I make my own content in the way that I want to, at the speed that I want to? If I don't want to fucking play a game, I'm not going to play a game. You know what I mean? I said I downloaded Bramble. Calm down. Okay, I know they're different people, but like there's plenty who are enjoying it right now.
Where they're attempting to mitigate that, but it's a mitigation. Unless Microsoft gets involved, it's not going to be a perfect experience. Now, on the Steam Deck, I'm not saying it's perfect either, but what it is it's seamless. For the games that it does play, I shouldn't say seamless, it's less seamy. For the games that it does play, you can expect that there's been some kind of validation process that has taken place. Someone looked at it at some point.
Do you think Valve would have been interested in packaging SteamOS with the Ally?
I don't know about the Ally, but my understanding is that they, at some point, talked to at least some of the competing handheld console makers, and they've certainly taken a fairly open approach to the operating system. It's not like, what's it called? It's escaping me now. But there's a third-party sort of basically SteamOS, SteamOS alternative for
The ROG is, as long as you can make like your own Steam operating system, like the Steam OS style, it will be fine. It will be great, as a matter of fact. As long as it's like seamlessly integrates Steam into it, which will be great for Valve in general, because like then they get to dominate. They get to monopolize the motherfucking handheld console space. I know it has Windows. No, listen. I know it has Windows, but as long as it has Steam in it and you can like basically run Steam big picture mode, like make it so that it's identical to the Steam Deck in the sense that like Steam Deck has the Linux operating system if you want to use that, but you don't ever use it because you're just using the Steam Deck big picture mode for the most part. If they do that exact same thing if they do that exact same thing for this, I mean, I'll buy it. I'll definitely try it. Because I'm a big handheld gaming fan. It's, you know, Game Boy was huge for me. Game Boy Advance, all this shit. Like I grew up playing a lot of games like that. I grew up imagining what the world would look like if the PSP had two, not one, but two fucking joysticks on it. I'm old. If they had two analog joysticks, I mean, that would have been fucking insane. That's called the Vita. No, don't talk to me about the Vita. That was far too late. The PSP was revolutionary, except they made a bet on, you know, the UMD, which was stupid as fuck. And at the time, they didn't have enough memory. The internet wasn't there. Internet downloading wasn't there enough. Like, it was too ahead of the game. Unfortunately, Sony was too good. That's literally what happened. And even with all this dog shit, like the hardware issues, the fact that it had only one joystick, which was fucking psychotic. Like, if I had a time machine, people are like, oh, I'd go back and, I don't know, fucking kill baby Hitler or whatever. If I had a time machine, I'd go back to the Sony executives and say, hold on. What are you doing? You're gonna fucking make it so that every fucking port from your own consoles are not gonna work on this other handheld console that you're selling? Are you stupid? Don't do that. Don't do that. You should be able to port everything. Just put the second joystick on there. You fucking idiot. That's what I would do. Do you think if Sony made a new PSP today, it would be a contender for best handheld? That's actually a really good question. Now, we have software storage space. The technology is incredible. Now we have battery technology that is also incredible in comparison to when the PSP came out. If Sony makes a handheld, if Sony made a fucking handheld, dude, if Sony made a fucking handheld that had really good battery life, really good storage, and also on top of that, a capacity to play older games as well on it, I don't know. It still loses the Switch. No, you know what? Actually, I don't know. Maybe you're not wrong because honestly, why don't I ever play PlayStation 5? Why don't I ever play it? Because a lot of the games I play, I would rather play on the Steam Deck because it's mobile, but it also is literally able to play everything. You know what I mean? It's able to play PC titles. It's able to play even, you know, titles that are made available for the PC, whereas the PS5 doesn't have any, like, unique, new, interesting fucking games. Switch is carried by its library, which the PSP would not. Let's say if there was a new PSP. The actual thing that killed both the Vita and the PSP in the US was that they both used proprietary storage sticks. You couldn't put a fucking SD card or a micro SD. If you could pop a micro SD in that motherfucker, it would whip. Rumor is Sony's making a handheld, but it's a cloud PS5 thing. Oh, no, that's so dumb. They're so fucking stupid. No. Cloud gaming is dog shit. Don't do that. Oh, my God. Google literally failed. What a fucking stupid thing. People would buy it no matter what, Sony. You're wrong. No, they wouldn't. What are you talking about? Cloud gaming is a pointless concept when half your customers have bad internet. Agreed. Yeah, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad. America, 90% of Americans don't have internet that can support cloud gaming in their home. And for those who are saying Sony should focus on you know, their console games instead of like a handheld. A handheld could revitalize its old library. A handheld that can play like older games could literally revitalize its old its library. It could make it like, if they also, like, I don't know, work with a developer, like work with a big fucking studio or in-house to like remaster all their original classics, all like Metal Gear Solid in its entirety, even though it's not a Sony classic. Obviously it's Konami, and that IP is like half owned by Konami and half owned by Kojima. So obviously that would never happen. And I'm just huffing on fucking copium. I don't think that could actually happen. I don't know. Maybe it could. But like, imagine if they did like fucking crazy remasters and then pumped it into a handheld console. That shit was slap. Metal Gear Solid handheld would be absolutely insane. It's not that insane. I played it on the PSP. My greatest gaming achievement of all time is that you can defeat Psychic Mantis without actually changing the controller. For the record, you literally can. And I did it on the PSP because the PSP has no way to change the controller. Psychic Mantis? Psycho Mantis? Whatever. Fucking don't remember. Psychic Mantis is not a real fan. Bro, this is like a 700-year-old game at this point. Give me a goddamn break. Anyway, let's finish this video.
Ugh. I can't. Hollow ISO. That's the one. And it's not like Valve is clamping down on that or anything like that. They've also, I mean, they committed at some point. I don't know if they've actually talked about it lately, but they said they were going to release SteamOS as just a standalone operating system at some point. So at that point, nothing would prevent a third-party handheld maker from installing it and shipping it. Like, it's free, right?
Yeah.
But what I also heard anecdotally is that there are certain things that Valve is keeping for themselves, like the profiles that they've created where they've tuned the game to run well on the Steam Deck hardware.
Ooh.
Anyway, that price. Excited.
Okay, there you go. Cooked. Won't work. God, why am I such a fucking loyalist? RIP Steam Deck. Is this the Asus ROG Ally, a Steam Deck killer? Dude, everyone loves these like crazy fucking clickbaity